Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Now, y'all, let me tell y'all why did Deb Antney did an interview, and I guess she was asked because lately I've been seeing her like just with Nicki Minaj, and like they go to different places together. I know that Deb started on the come up with Nicki, but I've seen like her with Nicki Minaj at different places and just like chilling out with Nicki, right? So somebody asked Deb, they were like, how come it's never been a thing to where I'm gonna play the clip at the end, but how come it's never been a thing where Nicki and Lil Kim can come together? The question of the century, right? And Deb was like how she reached out to Kim. However, Kim is not ready to make amends. And that's basically what she said. And she was speaking on that factor of it.
Cardi B and Lil Kim to try to amend their differences. I would love to see that. I would love to see them all come together.
I think that we all would love to see that, but people would have to be willing to do that. And to be perfectly honest with you, she's going to kill me for even saying this, but I did reach out to Kim.
Okay.
And
so now I really want to talk about that because there's a lot to get into and there's a lot to talk about in reference to that, right? Because my thing is, if Nicki and Kim are not able to bury the hatchet, because I think Kim kind of wants Nicki to reach out and kind of want Nicki to, hey, I'm apologizing for all the disrespect. I would love it if we would sit down personally and have that conversation. Now, for whatever reason, it's not able to happen, right? Nicki Minaj came out and said that she went off and, snapped on Deb and was like, listen, I don't want you doing that on my behalf because, like, if you do it, they're going to think that that came from me just off the simple fact that you're around me now consistently. Don't do that again, please. If Foxy came out, that would be wonderful. I'm cool with Foxy. Foxy's like family at this point. But Lil Kim and I have not been able to bury the hatchet over these years. I am not. It's not going to happen to where we're on a stage together. It's just not going to happen. I'm not ready to do that. And if I wanted to do that, I could have done that myself. I'm just not, no. So Deb did that on her own, took it upon herself on her own. And I think Lil Kim, where Lil Kim is coming from, and I'm sure she knew Deb Antney was the one doing it, I don't think Lil Kim just thought that it was coming from Nicki Minaj just because so many other people have tried over the years, Even with Kim and Foxy, different people have tried to make amends between them, and it just is not going to happen. I think female beef and male beef is very different.
Fab's position, because no one, from Puff to Jay to Big to Russell to Farrakhan to Sharpton, no one could orchestrate.
Not even Obama?
You know what I mean? No, I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, so for Fab to be the one to do that is huge. And he understood that. He understood that he would be the man on a whole other level if he was able to do that. But I told him, I said, Fab, you have to understand. He's like, yeah, because that's, Nas, when Nas and Jay came out, and it was the biggest thing for him. Summer Jam. So this is the same thing. I'm sorry, this is the same thing. I said, no, baby, it's not the same thing. Why? Because Jay and Nas conversed prior to coming out on stage. Yeah. And their beef, they were able to dead their beef before. The last time she and I really don't want to talk, make my interview about, that situation. I'm going to touch on it and then move forward. But the last time she and I were even in the same vicinity, there was a shootout.
Brown and Lil Kim. Guest correspondent AJ Hammer has our extra exclusive.
They're reigning pop star divas. Lil Kim, known for her barely there outfits. Foxy Brown, for her no-nonsense lyrics. Now, what began as a war of words has escalated to a hail of bullets.
I just don't think somebody should get killed before people realize that a change has to happen.
It was outside New York City radio station Hot 97 last week. Police say it was Lil Kim's posse versus friends of Foxy Brown. 5 guns in all, 21 shots fired, and 1 man shot in the back. Now, Foxy wants to set the record straight.
I had nothing to do with the shooting.
But the hip-hop diva did fire shots in the war of words that preceded the madness. Rap lyrics pointed squarely at Lil Kim.
The album pushed back, but when it hit the streets, it's still weak. It's still Sam Lane. My name still Wayne.
Isn't this kind of like throwing fuel on the fire?
After 2-3 years of just being verbally attacked, I felt like I owed it to my fans.
Foxy says Lil Kim pointed similar lyrics at her first. Now Foxy Brown, who was working on her new album at the time of the shooting, has invited Lil Kim and her crew to make peace.
We just want to stop it. We just want to say, look, let's put an end to it. Thank you, AJ.
Well, so far, Lil Kim isn't commenting on the case, and the shooting victim in the case was treated and released from a New York hospital.
The last comments I ever remember hearing her make about me. She laughed at the fact that I lost my hearing. So those things, when people do things like that and they have malicious intent, that's different than just a rap battle. Than somebody saying, yo, you know what I mean? Like, yo, your shirt is too tight. You know, when you laugh at somebody and say, wow, they're deaf, ha 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 ha. That's like a little, you know what I mean? So I told Fab, I said, Fab, you know, it's different. So
It's sensitive.
yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. If it's real, and we can orchestrate a situation where it's real, then I'm with it.
Like, male beef, that it's cool. Like, they have a conversation, they just get over it. Women, certain things strike you in a certain type of way. Certain things, like, kill you in a certain type of way that somebody took it that far, you know, in that kind of way. It's, you know, we're not making friends. We're not, especially with Kim being a Cancer, it's a different type of energy. Sagittarius and Cancers is different energies, okay? And in my opinion, and notice I said my opinion, right? Because this is the piece that pisses people off. As soon as, from everything I say, when I say my opinion, that's a warning. My opinion, I'm going to give my opinion. In my opinion, I feel as though it's been wrong to where Lil Kim feels as though her entire identity has been stolen. There's a line between homage and there's a line between completely taking somebody's identity and completely revamping it as if it's your own. And the thing is, a lot of the female rappers have been doing it to Nicki ever since, and she hates it. So she gets, you know, where Lil Kim is coming from, understands where Lil Kim is coming from, but plays like dumbfounded, like as though she doesn't know where Lil Kim is coming from. I feel as though she has to humble herself in order for her and Kim beef to be squashed. She has to largely humble herself. And the thing is, for whatever reason, I don't think Nicki's able to be humble, especially with the like amount of success that she's garnered, especially with how successful she has been in the game, all of that. I don't think she's able to be humble, but she would have to be incredibly humble to go to Kim and have that conversation up to a point to where it can't be had, it can't be misunderstood. You have to have these uncomfortable conversations and bring yourself down off of your high horse in order for that to be a conversation, because she feels as though you took her entire identity. Whether it's true or false is a opinionated issue based on who you talk to. You know, you can get that answer as far as, did Nicki steal Lil Kim's identity, right? If you ask my opinion, hey, I feel as though in some ways, absolutely. However, I also would like to say that when it comes down to Nicki Minaj, there was some her in there, you know, like the Roman, the you know what I'm saying? But there, as far as her image, has been glossed up a lot as Lil Kim, in my opinion. But Lil Kim feels as though I would like the disrespect to be as loud, or the respect to be as loud as the disrespect. Address it, apologize publicly, because you disrespected me publicly time and time again. You said that I loved what Kim did and I, idolize her, absolutely. However, I'm going to be the person that comes into the game and be better than Lil Kim, and that was the energy. When the girls do it now to you, you view it as disrespect. So how could you act as though you don't understand? As far as you're literally going through the same thing to where people took Lil Kim through. You're old, you're washed up, you're nothing. Ooh, plastic surgery. People talk about your ass a lot and say different things about you, try to put you down. Same thing Kim's going through. You are literally living her, you know what I'm saying? What you put her through, you're living it. So I feel as though you should be able to humble yourself and have that conversation and go to her personally on a personal tip. Go to the people that love her and have these conversations. Go above and beyond, in my opinion, because she is a veteran. You did do something, wrong, and try to understand where she's coming from. If hip hop means that much to you, if female rap means that much to you, if you feel like at this point you already got Foxy, that's all you need, and you're moving on. Let's not act as though Foxy was not beefing with a lot of people. Foxy was, I did a video on Jackie O. Foxy was beefing with Jackie O. Foxy was beefing with Remy. Foxy was beefing with Queen Latifah. Foxy was beefing with a lot of people. A lot of the girls are not giving homage to Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown was always, her entire career, she's always been the underdog.
That came out after she came out, or when she came out, from Kim to Eve, me, Jackie, y'all, like, even down to Queen. How do you get into beef with Queen Latifah? Like, are you serious? Like, This chick is a problem. Like, she's a problem. I don't want to talk about her no more. This is too much. Matter of fact, cut this whole segment short. All the part is not necessary. Just take it out.
Even leaving the game, has been the underdog. None of the other girls have wrapped their arms around her. People say that, hey, Kim is bitter, Kim is this, and Kim is that. However, her veterans, the people in her league, the people that she came up with, all wrap their arms around her, all love her very much so, you know?
These dudes on stage, this big crowd, and she couldn't wait to eat it up, and she ate them up, and it was like, yo. She owned it too. She was like, what? I think she's so sweet and kind, but you know, there's a tiger in there. She could just turn it on, and I love that power.
Her contemporaries, even who she raps with, it's like, oh no, Kim was rapping with motherfuckers like Biggie and with motherfuckers like Prodigy. It's like, no, I'm sorry, as much as I love Wayne and Drake, no. Wayne not Jay, Drake not Prodigy on the mic.
She is loved in the game in a way that Nicki Minaj has not been able to be, even by her counterparts, even by the girls coming after her. You know what I'm saying? When it came to certain interviews or certain things where Nicki was relying on her peers to speak up for her, speak about the image she's had, a lot of them did not do so, you know? So I would almost say as though Nicki, that ego is her problem. And as a Sagittarius, because I am a Sag, I feel as though the ego tends to get in the way a lot. You have to humble yourself a lot of the times, and it's hard to do when you are a Sagittarius. I don't know what it is about us, but we, you know what I'm saying, feel how we feel. But I feel as though if she really wants that, you have to go after that. You can't, bring nobody else to do that. It wasn't able to happen with Foxy Brown. Nobody was able to make peace and amends between Foxy and Kim, you know what I'm saying? Because Foxy would have to take it upon herself and go the extreme extra mile. And a lot of women be like, I'm not doing that for that, like that B. I'm not doing that for that girl. I'm not doing that. If she does not want to have, she says no, declines it, then that's it. Oh, well, I asked. But you might have to go the extra mile and have that conversation and be willing to go above and beyond. And a lot of girls, I got my own career, I got my own show and do it, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Bye, as if she's on legendary status, in my opinion. I feel like she's owed a conversation, and a direct conversation. And, let the apology be as honest, as loud as the disrespect, in my opinion, But Deb Antney, for her to shape Lil Kim as being the villain when Nicki Minaj told you, nah, I don't even want you to do that. Why are you doing that? Like, I don't even want you to do that. Don't do that, like, on my behalf at all. So why was Deb Antney trying to make it seem like, no, you were trying to do something that if Nicki Minaj did not want it to be done and you went to Lil Kim and Lil Kim agreed to do so, it would almost look like Nicki is like having somebody beg her again, because Nicki loves homage, loves when people are, oh my God, I love you, I love you, I love you. It would, her agreeing to do so would make Nicki feel as though, oh yeah, okay, well, she begging, she did, you know what I'm saying? I think that's how it would look if Nicki did not agree. It has to be mutual grounds if somebody's going to be in the middle of it. However, I think that Nicki, if she really wanted that, cool, the, beef dying down with Lil Kim, she would have to go and, pursue that herself and pursue it in a very personal way. Like it's personal to her. But like she said, Fox is like family to her at this point. She views Foxy Brown as her family. So I think that the beef between Foxy and Kim is not getting resolved. So Nicki's standing behind Foxy.
I know no matter how many times you talk about it, right, you sometimes can't clear it up. But let's try to clear some things up. One of the things that you make news about is this whole running feud with Lil Kim.
Right.
And whether or not it's real, whether it's publicity, and then there was gunplay, earlier this year, and the question of whether or not you guys can come to some. I know that you offered up a peace offering and said, hey, let's forget all of this.
Right, and I tried. I mean, being the younger of the two, I tried to just say, you know what, but that's the kind of upbringing that I had. My mother was like, look, it makes no sense. Reach out to her. You guys don't have to be friends, but just try to be civil. And I reached out and, our olive branch was denied. But beyond that, I say to myself, there's so many rappers, males. No one has tried to say, let's get you guys together. And no one. So, I mean, is it that serious, or do people just look at the fact that these are the two largest women in hip-hop right now, and they're feuding
So let's say and let's hope that at least on your end you can say whatever it is, whatever it's been, I'm going to leave it at that and move on about my business.
What people don't understand, I guess, that if you don't speak out in the media, again, we are totally different. She always has, she speaks out in the media, and I don't. I'm like the underdog in the situation. I'm the one that you rarely see on the red carpet. So if you don't speak out, people only have one story to go by. So a lot of people didn't understand my story, and I never had a problem with Kim. I actually enjoy her music. I don't have a problem with her.
I don't think the beef between Nicki and Lil Kim is that serious. I think that, Lil Kim thing is the image thing, and the fact that you try to backbite me, and I think Lil Kim more so blames the males in Nicki's camp who started that whole thing and try to steal her sound, but she does feel as though Nicki never came up and said, hey, we females, let's not do that, blah, blah, blah. But Nicki is getting the blueprint from Foxy, and Foxy's beefing with a lot of women in the game and a lot of the guys that she's came up with. So it's no difference as far as how they're handling certain things. I feel like if Nicki wanted this, Nicki knows how to go about it in a very personal way.
Wayne throws stabs at Jay, Jay throws stabs away. They're not like her. She wanted to be the only female out there. So when Baby and them said, we're not fucking with this chick because you can't stand next to her, she loved it. Because she didn't want to stand next to me. I think it's how she wanted to be out there by herself. I think the industry puts women against each other all the time. Yeah, they do. That's exactly what happened. And my thing is, you have to be smart enough to say, yo, I don't know what they talking about, but you my bitch. Don't start coming at me in records, talking to me, just talking about me disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, indirectly. Don't do that. Don't do that. At the end of the day, she should have just said, I don't care, you my bitch. Yo, I want to still do other things with you. Let's just do it. Forget about what this.
I don't think it's something that Nicki desires to do. I think Nicki feels as though she's too high and mighty, and she's made a lot of money and has garnered a lot of success that at this point is really not needed. I mean, it would be nice if that's something that she wanted to do, but she doesn't need a Lil Kim cosign in order for her to flourish in the rap game. If she don't want to be cool, that's on her. I've made more money than her. I've garnered more fame than her. I have a big fan base, bigger than hers, that I can keep it pushing and keep it moving without a Lil Kim. She doesn't feel like she needs it. So people need to stop, okay? If Nicki's not humble enough to go after it herself in a very personal way and go hard at gaining, that bridging that gap and making peace to where it would affect her and really help her flourish, then don't do it for her.
We need to bring everybody in, and we need to give everybody love. God bless her. What she did, she did. But you know what? God bless her. I wish her the best. I'm past that. I'm over it. So,
I respect that.
At the end of the day, no, this is going to stay. Stop asking me.
Because I feel as though if the beef is able to be buried, it would largely open the floodgates for both women in a very large way. I think it would be beneficial for their careers and their personal lives, and it would just look good for hip hop all around. However, the disrespect was very loud, and Lil Kim wants that peace to be created the same way the disrespect was loud. Make it all loud, go above and beyond. And I don't know if Nicki Minaj is willing to do that for Lil Kim. I don't think she feels as though it's worth it, especially with her having allegiance now with Foxy Brown. Lil Kim is cool with Wayne. Lil Kim is cool with Baby. Lil Kim is cool with a lot of these guys in the camp, to where you would think that Nicki would want that approval. I feel like if Lil Kim was mad at, not Lil Kim, Lil Wayne was mad at Nicki Minaj, she would go above and beyond. I feel as though Kim is owed that respect just because you stole a lot of her stuff, took a lot of her stuff, redid a lot of her stuff that you felt was ill and cool and popping, so I feel like you need to give her that same. I feel as though Lil Kim is as, responsible for your career, in my opinion, as much as Lil Wayne, because a lot of her blueprint is taken. A lot of her blueprint is taken, and we're not going to act as though it isn't. You took if you were just the Harajuku and just, the Roman and the loud voice and all of that, and just been that your entire career, then you can say, yeah, because Lil Kim never did that. But if you did not, you stole a lot of the imagery. Even the first one where you was squat down with your legs open, and that was definitely Lil Kim, I feel as though you owe Lil Kim a lot. But you have to feel like that. And I don't think Nicki Minaj feels like she owes her nothing. And I don't think she feels like she even deserves to, get that push. Or I'm not finna beg her. I think it's given that. I think it's given, I'm not finna beg her, and I'm past that. If she wants to, cool. But if she don't want to, I'm moving on with my life. I'm not finna beg nobody. I'm Nicki effing Minaj. You know what I'm saying? But you can't say I'm Nicki effing Minaj in one instance, but keep letting that male with the case that you're married to keep playing your face. For you to have that male as your man and say I'm Nicki Minaj, those two imagery does not match. You can't say I'm Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj the legend, Nicki Minaj the queen, Nicki Minaj, the stardom, Nicki Minaj the it girl, but then you're married to a guy with several felt records and convicted, and he's, what I'm saying, all of that, which like downplays your power, your star power, and all. I don't know, because she says she's happy, so all in the name of happiness. I just think that if you can humble yourself and be with the man that you're with, you should humble yourself, in my opinion, once again, my opinion, to be with the person that you're with. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. A lot of people are like, oh, well, what you feel is bias. What you feel is this. That's why it's an opinion. Whether you know what I'm saying? It's my opinion. A lot of people get upset when I post my videos and I talk about it from my perspective. They don't like my perspective, and that's fine. You can have a difference of perspective, but my perspective is my perspective. It ain't for you to have the same perspective. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. Opinions aren't facts, okay? Opinions are not facts. They're just what people think. They're facts to me. They don't have to be facts to you. You can feel and, have a difference of opinion. But Deb Antney was far out of her league trying to make this possible just because Nicki did not want it. And I think that Kim saw right through that. Like, she don't really want that. Stop. I feel like if Nicki really wanted it, she would go after it in a very intense way. And Nicki has already publicly stated that. She was talking about her stats and everything and saying how, Foxy Brown is family and all of this, and that could happen. But she would never, ever do that with Lil Kim, and not to do it, in her defense. Don't try to do it for her, because that's not where she's at with it. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I love y'all. Bye.
If somebody says, I love you, but I hate you, that's not homage.
But we don't hear that.
Because y'all don't want to hear it.